relationships are everything. I think we don't realize how much relationships shape our lives. We take them for granted, or we don't seek them out because we believe that on our own we can find meaning and love in our lives, which, while that is true, I think a lot of the time, a lot of things that carry real meaning come from relationships. A lot of things that you care about come from relationships. I think a good example would be trying to accomplish something. I think maybe when you try to accomplish something on your own, if it's something that you personally want to do, that's great and that's amazing, and you should absolutely go for it no matter what anybody else tells you. But something people won't tell you is that when you accomplish it, if you have nobody to share that victory with, it can mean a lot less. Why do you want to get good grades at school? To get a good job? To apply and do well? Maybe it's to impress others and impress your parents. Regardless of what it is, you have to take it for what it's worth and realize that if you strip everything down to, their last last layer, you'll realize that relationships are enveloped in everything we do. You want a job because you want money. You want money because you want to be able to live in a house. The only way you can have that job is through relationships. The only reason you can have a tenant or a landlord is because of relationships, and your relationship with that person directly affects them. Your relationships with money, not necessarily just people. I guess it's not even just necessarily with people, but with, concepts as well, or just certain objects like money. I mean, these are all very important things that I think we look over. At the end of the day, we spend too much time, in my opinion, thinking that relationships like these aren't worth putting any thought into. But in my opinion, these relationships are what will shape the rest of our lives. Not just because, it's who you know that gets you a job. It's who you know that will, and this is a dark one, but will come to your funeral. So look, if you find yourself isolated, by choice even, that's okay. You can do what you want. But for me, personally, I could never do that. And I think deep down, nobody else can actually do that. I think deep down, everybody else can realize, like, hey, I do want people to talk to about my accomplishments. What's the point of making it to the top if everybody that I talk to, I didn't want to talk to? What's the point of making it to the top if I have nobody to share it with? What's the point of this amazing view if I have nobody to congratulate me on it? I'm sorry, but individual success, it's an amazing feat, and it's something that you should strive for yourself and for nobody else. But love, thing that envelopes almost all of your relationships, especially the human ones, that's what matters. That's what will matter in the long run. No matter how much success you find, no matter how far you come in life, that is what will matter at the end of the day, and it's something that you cannot neglect. Now, if you're somebody who struggles to see the worth in human relationships sometimes, if you're somebody who struggles to see the fact that, hey, you know what? Why would I do this for somebody? Why would I help somebody out? Why would I want somebody else helping me out? That's weak. It's not weak to be friends with someone. I've seen people say it's weak to be friends with someone a million times. It's like a big thing in the business world to be like, don't be friends with anyone. Be a cold, hard killer. Those cold, hard killers won't have a family to come back to. Those cold, hard killers won't have anybody to greet them when they come home. And it sucks. That's a life that sucks. Value those around you. Value the relationships you have with people. And remember, again, that all relationships with people, with money, with objects, with concepts, they all matter. And it's what gives life meaning. And it's in everything. I guarantee you, think of anything in the world right now, it is built on a relationship. Anything in the world is built on a relationship. Nobody could do something on their own. Nobody. Somebody needed a platform. Somebody needed to build something. Somebody needed an opportunity. Somebody needed a combine to go to. Somebody needed a connection. Somebody needed a family member. Somebody needed a friend. Somebody needed a partner. Somebody needed their kids. All these things in our lives are enveloped in relationships. So why do you act like it's not that important when they are everything? Now I'm going to add a very, very specific disclaimer here. I don't mean to say that since you lost a relationship that you should mourn it and that you should sit there and lose your mind over it because it was so important. And as I said, relationships are everything. I don't mean it in that context. I mean it in the context of, if you don't care enough about your relationships, you should start to care a little bit, at least a little bit. There's something as caring too much. Unfortunately, there's a perfect middle ground for everything, and you got to do your best to find the one that works for you. So again, as a disclaimer, if you just got out of a relationship, that sucks. You can mourn it, but you can also distance yourself from it and still realize that your relationships with human beings are what make your time on this earth worthwhile. So please, take your relationships into your own hands. Introduce yourself to people. If you're alone and you see a group of people and you go up to them and say, hey, what's up? Gonna hang out? Do it. Do it. Rejection is redirection. Do it. You deserve at least that much. You don't deserve to be alone forever. And I think, again, as humans, we crave connection. So why not go out and look for it? And even if you're not going to look for it, why deny it? Why deny the fact that maybe you can have a friend in class? You don't have to be cold to everybody you talk to. I've met so many of these pessimistic people in my life. People that say they've been hurt in the past. People that say, I don't need anybody else. This ground you are standing on right now was built by more than one person. The country you're living in was built by more than one person. This is how things are. This is how the world works. And it is in everything that we do, everything that we wear, everything that we say, and everything that we stand on. So don't misvalue it, and recognize that it matters. Recognize that relationships matter, and that you deserve to not reject them anymore. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. This is kind of a weird one. I'm just kind of here farming XP for a little bit, but I decided to get this one off my chest because I've met a couple people in my life recently who, it's a sad view on life to never allow yourself to feel for another person, to win with another person, to accept with another person. So do that. Know you're loved. Know you can choose to be kind today, tomorrow, and the day after. And I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day. I'll see you guys later.